So, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever. We've got Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 5, bringing you an open league match between Spy of NDA and LucienGreeth of Flute by Night. Both these teams kinda got wrecked week 1, no points across the board, but looking to get back on track week 2, playing Ambrosia. And for full disclosure, I am Reg. My partner commentating this race is Hammer Bro, and we're both members of NDA, but we're not taking it easy on Spy, specifically because he's our teammate. So what are we playing here, Hammer?
Oh, we're playing something that I'm very glad I'm not playing tonight. That is an Ambrosia. So it's going to be our standard fun inverted beginning. We do have a sword, as you can see on your screens today. We also have everyone's favorite big key shuffle, with the exception of GT Big Key. That is staying where it is. And we also have guaranteed items on bosses, so hopefully that'll make the item counts a little bit quicker, a little bit easier, especially in certain spots like Mire and Skullwoods, where you can be running around looking for an item or two. Speaking of, there's a big key to thieves.
We're gonna go kill blind.
Immediately.
You love to see it, too. You really do.
I mean, from my perspective, I absolutely love to see it. I don't have to kill blind. I don't care. Ooh, that is a nice bomb drop for Spy.
Yeah, and I know he's real happy about that because, like, I'm his teammate, and we've played a few of these seeds to practice, and early bombs for the early hype cave check is one of the things that stresses us out most in the inverted openings, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of people across the board. But Lucien not getting those bomb drops, gonna go do Stumpy first, and while he walks over there, absolute man of culture on the Professor Sprite. Reference to a band that you can kind of see his team logo. I am a very big fan of it as well. That's all I'll say.
Okay, so can we talk about the fact that Hype Cave was 200 rupees short of vanilla, and that's it?
Yeah, it was kind of atrocious, but at the same time, it's the 5-item check that's in Sphere 1. You want to get it immediately.
Absolutely, and I mean, we talked about bombs being difficult to grab and being at a premium early on. Rupees are another thing that we really like having a bit of, so it's not terrible, it's just we were hoping for, something more along the lines of progression, hopefully.
Yeah, and with all these bombs, I kind of thought Spy was going to skip Skullwoods, because a common inverted opening, there are bombs under pots guaranteed in Skullwoods, so going and getting those is pretty popular early on, but Spy heading up there, Lucien skipping it despite not having the bombs, pulling that Ice Rod that's not doing anything for us until we can get the Trinex, which might not be that long from now.
Yeah, one of the fun things about inverted, getting into thieves, into TR a little bit easier.
Lucien does know about both the 50-50 bushes in the South Village of Outcasts, getting a bomb for the bombable hut. Gonna try farming them again once he pulls this chest. And there are several bombs in Thieves Town as well, although more so in the back than the front.
Spy, meanwhile, making his way over to this one check, grabbing a small key, which will help routing the front a little bit easier. But as this is Ambrosia, we do not have two items in this dungeon. One is guaranteed to be sitting on moss. We're only looking for one item at this point.
Nah, we're still looking for two. Remember, it's big
That's
key
right,
shuffle,
big
so
key shuffle. Oh, that's gonna mess me
+1
up
to every
so many
dungeon.
times.
Yep. So Lucien going into Thieves Town here. This is a 5-item dungeon. Although without the hammer, it's possible that he gets locked to only 4. That compass is not something you want to see immediately in Thieves Town if you're hoping for skipping that big chest.
Right. At this point, there's only two item possibilities that don't require going into that hammerlock chest. So.
Yep. Did pull a Moon Pearl, though, which means that at very least the front dip is required immediately. Because remember, inverted, that Moon Pearl lets us not be bunny in the light world.
Which is nice, because one of the more painful things in an inverted seed can be getting light world access via Aghanim and then having to run around looking for various people that you can talk to.
Moon Pearl on purple chest is legal in this mode.
Moon Pearl in a lot of really silly places is legal in this mode.
Purple chest is probably the most fun of those, though.
You and I have a very different definition of fun.
I like it when a seed shows off all the quirks of the mode, okay?
Alright, so we have a green pendant Thieves Town, a blue pendant Skull Woods, and that's all I got.
I saw the other pendant up at Turtle Rock, so that Ice Rod might not be required. No, we might be skipping the Fire Rod this seed, too, if we don't need those pendants.
That also turns this Thieves Town play into a potentially 6-item play.
Yep. Looked like the rest of the Light World on, or the Dark World on Spies map there was regular crystals.
I believe so as well, but I'm not 100% sure. That being said, we'll be looking for both 5/6s in the Light World.
Yeah, and that green pendant turn-in is unfortunately going to have to wait till we get over to that area of the Light World. Which, only the Moon Pearl. Gonna need a little bit more to get there, whether it's through Aghanim or through just the portals.
Well, speaking of, we do have a glove in the attic here, so there is that. That's one less item.
Hey, you're a connoisseur of Dark Aghanim, right?
I tolerate it. Doesn't mean I like it.
If Lucien were an absolute madman, he could go do it right after he's down here.
I mean, yes, but I feel like that's kind of a crazy play given that
It's absolutely
right.
It's absolutely not happening. But it would be full Light World access for him if he wanted to. But
oh yeah, that's fair.
At the same time, though. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
At the same time, either the hammer or the Titansmiths is also access to the Light World. So you're kind of just, you can skip the entire tower climb with one item.
Exactly. Yeah. What I was going to say is along that lines, it would be far more likely of a play if that glove had not been pulled onto the attic.
Well, it's only a possible play with the glove or the flute.
Lucien, there's an item in that. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. I'm really glad he turned around and grabbed that.
Yeah, that would have been really bad to leave behind. Now, I know we've seen the compass. Have we seen the map? I don't think we have, unless it's in this chest that Spy's about to pull. Okay, so I think that means map in the Thieves Town dig chest, because blind is guaranteed to have an item here. And no hammer, no problem.
Yeah, so we're good. Don't have to worry about backtracking here, at least. assuming the blind fight goes well for both our runners.
Yeah, and everybody talks about the blind script where if you move in the same way, blind will do the same thing every time, and you can hold your sword out to get first frame hits consistently. But 3 hearts, the smaller hitbox of fighter sword, if this goes off rails, it's off rails quick. Lucien pulls it out though. Well done.
Okay, so we have 2 gloves in Thieves Town.
Yeah, that's sort of what happens when you pull the big key out of Blink's house. And Spy still on 3 hearts too, is taking this Hellway real slow, trying to take as little damage as possible. There aren't that many hearts under pots here.
Yeah,
Lucien, I think, is going to go grab the Smith before going to the Light World here.
Yeah, that's a good call. It makes it a little bit easier to be dealing with stuff like that. Inverted can be tricky to route in such a way that doesn't leave stuff behind and doesn't have you backtracking for days. So when you get an opportunity to do something like this and kind of make your route easier, tick a box off of the list. Ooh! As Spy takes a cricket death. You go ahead and you definitely do that.
Absolutely, yeah. But with neither glove there, he's got to keep going. Like, he has, like, his only other plays, he can go down to Dig Game and Stumpy, and that's the only checks he's got left.
Right.
Meanwhile, Lucien checked Link's house, Stumpy, and I think just Sea House and Brewery. He didn't even do Just Game because he's never had the money for it. But he's skipping all those Sphere 1 checks that don't actually have anything, presumably in the case of Dig Game, and going straight to the Light World with the Smith Intel.
Yeah, Dig Game is something that we haven't seen from either runner, so that one is still out. The jury's still out on that one. Another big key we're coming across this time, Hera in the well, along with Quake, a shield, and a hookshot. That's nice to see.
Getting the hookshot and the Hera big key in the same location feels a little bit bad if you're a fan of the Hera pot trick, but that's how it goes. Pretty sure Lucien is thrilled to see that 300 rupees with how rupee poor he has been, not getting those early bombs to go to Hype Cave.
Yeah, your first couple hundred rupees are really nice no matter what mode you're in, but it seems like even more so in Inverted. As Spy gets to stare at a heart that would give him 3 hearts, but nope.
Yeah, that got rejected pretty hard. But yeah, Dig Game being Sphere 1 makes early money critical and Inverted, even if the Arrow game is literally right next to it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, as it is, Lucien was sitting on 25 rupees getting into the Light World, so it wasn't even a situation where he was going to be able to do a whole lot with it.
Yeah, he would have to spend a little while in the Arrow game to have enough to spend it on any check. So, why do that when you can just go to the Light World, get all the Kakariko checks, like that hammer?
Yep, hammer being in a relatively nice location this go around, so we won't have to search all around the world for that one.
Yeah, and with both hammer and mitts in hand, really the big thing missing as far as routing convenience goes is the mirror. And chat saying that mitts are rendered useless, but honestly, having that mitts portal in Kakariko is a lot more convenient than using the hammer to reach it. And they were hard required to begin with.
Yep, not to mention we have a King's Tomb that we haven't checked yet. Hopefully Boots will be around here somewhere, so don't count out the mitts just yet.
There is apparently tech to get to King's Tomb without the mitts, as we see the 5-6 crystals are Eastern and Hera, which we have both the big keys for. But I have been told that there is tech to get to King's Tomb without the mitts, and that it is legal in randomizer races.
Yeah, and we do have the hook shot, so that actually would be a possibility for both of our winners. Spy, meanwhile, is 2 phases into blind, and he did well in that script you were talking about.
Yep, now he's got his mitts. He'll be following Lucian into the light world. He's got a few extra Sphere 1 checks from, say, Skull Woods and Hype Cave. But Lucian's got all of Kakariko check, got some goods there. And we'll see. I would expect this to be Hype Cave into South Shore of Light World for Lucian. And yeah, chat talking about how open this seed is with the Light World access in your super early checks. But you get Light World access, and then Inverted is always open. Because all of your checks that are typically Sphere 1 in your normal open mode, your Kakariko, your South Shore, your Eastern area, all of that is available immediately once you get Light World access, regardless of what form it is, as long as you have the Moon Pearl. So I'm a fan of saying that Inverted punishes carelessness in the early game, and it punishes inefficiency in the mid game, and that's pretty much why I say that.
Yeah, that's a fair point. This is, I would argue, one of the more severe openings we can find, though, because you could come across a situation where you have Aga and then part of the Light World access to, and then it kind of opens up as it goes there. But this one just kind of giving us everything means that, like you said, you get past your first couple spheres, and then your sphere 4 or whatever is just everything else, basically.
Yeah, and speaking of inefficiencies, Spy, no Smith, no flippers. Couple that with his trouble in Thieves Town, and it's looking a little bit questionable for him. I say that harsher than usual because specifically he is my teammate. And I have told him things about Inverted.
Inverted, to be fair, is a completely new beast to get used to, though, so... Looks like Lucien here is going to farm for the rest of Zora money, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 45 short, so this cave's going to get it all for him.
After that, he'll probably be walking towards Desert, which reminds us of another hard requirement here in Inverted. We need that book.
Yep, there is no backdoor entry to Desert in Inverted, because Mirror takes you from light to dark, not dark to light. On the other hand, Mirror can become your Misery Mire region access in Inverted, which is kind of cool, replacing the Flute for that.
Another medallion sitting here in Checkerboard Cave, so that is 2 for our runners that have come across so far.
And with that one in particular, in Lucian's hands, we may just never see Fire Rod this seed.
That's a good point.
I will say, though, I don't like Agena Cave in Inverted. I don't like it in Open either, but in Inverted it's a real pain because you feel obligated to walk out to do the rest of your South Shore checks.
Right.
And okay, he's taken the save and quit back to the portal for that. I'm not sure that's faster. It's probably a wash.
Yeah, with Hammer and Glove in hand, it's probably a wash. If he got Light World access some other way, then yeah, he'd have to turn around and walk all the way back.
Oh, that's actually a check. Spy got 45 for a heart container. Doesn't quite match Lucian getting the Smith for the flippers, but it is a little bit in there. It's something that Lucian might have to double back to at some point. Might.
So this seed enjoyed giving us what, like 3 or 4 big keys early on. Then we've hit a bit of a lull over here. See if we come across a couple more.
Yeah, chat's asking about Ice Palace. I could easily see Spy going in just because a lot of his seeds recently, both practice and actual competition, have been just go into Ice, everything else be damned. But I'm going to see if he holds to that here.
It wouldn't surprise me. It also seems like certain modes, like every version has its own pseudo randomization that is honestly probably mostly just people seeing stuff and thinking it's more likely than other, but still feels like it's more likely to give you something than perhaps something else. And I've noticed that Ice Palace does seem to pay off more often than it feels like it should. I'm also personally not a huge fan of doing Ice Palace myself, so that might just be my own preferences coming through there, but I don't know. We'll see.
It sticks out to you when you don't like doing it more than when you're fine doing it. Like, nobody cares that Kakariko has 3 or 4 Y items every other seed.
I mean, Kakariko's also usually Sphere 1 and somewhere in between 13 and like 17 items, depending on what you can check and what you have.
Right, and that's why nobody cares, even though it tends to have some stuff in it.
But then there's some seeds when it doesn't, and that's when things get fun.
Looks like... I don't think this is Ice Palace for Lucian, but... Okay, yeah, he's not. So there's the bridge here to get the boots. Spy's gonna break his fake flippers to get those 100%, and then have to S&Q because he doesn't have the real flippers. And yes, chat, I did mention it at the start, but Lucian Sprite is, in fact, the drummer from Rush.
And Spy is about to grab his boots.
Yeah, he's not even going to Hobo, he's just grabbing them. And then he is forced to S&Q because no flippers. Luckily for him, Hobo is nothing, but still. That routing inefficiency there, biting him just a bit.
Yeah, I feel like the more interesting question will be, when does he get back to the Smith chain to grab those flippers?
He might be going for fake flippers now, especially with Pearl plus boots. He can actually store double water walk here and get the Zora ledge item with no difficulty if he wants to.
I don't think I've ever seen him do that, so I wouldn't expect that. But he's proven me wrong before, so it'll be kind of fun to see.
Well, he didn't go into Mini Moldworm Cave to arm the boots water walk, so no, he's not doing that. Luckily for him, ledge is nothing.
Exactly. As we can see on Lucien's side, not going to be a big deal.
The Spy's going to get his sad single rupee off the guy under the bridge here, then go pay Zora.
And then be disappointed further as Zora just gave us a piece of heart.
Yeah. And I'm looking to see when the route divergence comes in here. There are a few more options in the light world, like Hyrule Castle and the eastern area. Is Lucian going to Skull Woods, though, for those Sphere 1 checks he skipped before?
I was going to say, it looks like it. Nope, he's heading up the mountain. Instead, it looks like it.
Oh, no, not just a bumper cave check.
Gonna have to be careful here with that murder dactyl.
Yeah, his sign missed, so...
That's a bad sign.
Now, what can Lucian do on the mountain here? The answer is actually surprisingly a lot with those mitts. I guess even the hookshot would get it too, but he can get to the east side of the light world, get Paradox Cave, get all the stuff on the Dark Mountain. The only thing he can't really do is Spike Cave and Turtle Rock. But pretty much everything else is on the board. I guess Ether Tablet as well.
And now we have the long, arduous journey with the old man.
Yep. This is the point in Inverted where you just press buttons. This is where you're planning out your next 2 or 3 steps in the route here. Because it's a walk with the old man. You have to walk him all the way up to the Light World portal. And then walk him back down to his home. And it's slow.
And with 1 heart, Lucien's also going to have to dodge some cabbages here.
Nah, he's good.
Ah, Clutch Fairy coming through.
And yes, chat, I mean walk him down the mountain. Just like this. Walking right down the mountain. Walk, walk, bombs.
Remind me to never go on a walk with you.
It's okay. The explosives won't be there. I'm not old enough for that.
I'm not worried about the explosives if you call a, like 100-foot drop a walk.
It's not a problem. Don't worry about it. We got Lucien about to check 7 items here.
Spawn, meanwhile, heading to Digging Game, which we have not seen yet.
Yeah, he's going to do this and then grab the Smith, because you can't play the dig game if you grab the Smith first.
Yep, no buddies while digging. Now probably hoping for a little more money to help out with Pod, and absolutely not receiving anything.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but pretty sure Lucien getting absolutely nothing out of this Paradox Cave, too.
Well, you know, it's useful until it's not.
This might be the latest Arrow game I've ever seen in Inverted.
The 25-minute, oh god, I need Pod money.
Yep, but the setup's pretty easy, and he's got it with good chunk to spare. Lucien trying to figure out if he wants to do Spiral and Mimic Cave first, which necessitates extra climbs up the mountain. But he's doing them. The other option here is to do Hera first and walk across the bridge twice to save yourself a trip. That's Spike Cave access.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you said something about not having Spike Cave access.
Yep. Unfortunately, it still kinda sucks to get to without the mirror.
Well, yeah, and it's another mountain climb, so, you know.
Good news is that it's a west side mountain climb, not an east side one.
That's fair. Change of scenery, if nothing else.
Yeah, so Spy's gonna get his flippers here. He's not actually behind any flippers checks. If anything, this might push him to Ice Palace like I was talking about earlier, but the mountain is super tempting and super dense at this point.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to be heading towards the mountain.
Not in the light world, he's not. Oh, duh, there are checks in the Lost Woods.
Yeah.
Duh, I forgot about them for a moment.
I forgot that he was in the light world. His palette shuffle always messes with me.
Lucien doing some super speed Harapot here. Let's see how quickly he gets it. That's real good, because super speed Harapot can be super finicky and inconsistent.
Yeah, 2 tries pretty darn good there.
Hard required book feels good.
Especially up on the mountain, because, I mean, Bombo's tablet isn't really that bad to get to in inverted, so at this point you're just kind of sitting here going, well, won't have to worry about either tablet in a minute.
We'll have to worry about when to come back for it if it does have something, since he's only on Fighter Sword.
That's a good counterpoint.
But he will know whether he has to come back for it. Okay, looks like Spy might just be doing the North Light World stuff here. Not doing the castle first, which is an option, especially if the key is available. You can literally just do Escape as in Standard, come out Sanctuary, do Bonkrock's King's Tomb, and Graveyard Ledge. Easy. But nope. But Lucian's got the first crystal to see it over there, hammering Moldworm's tail. Easy game.
Yeah, if only you had access to that hammer in the vanilla game.
And Lucian going for the basement on no fire source. That's an interesting call there. We'll see how it plays out for him.
Spy forgetting that you have to throw a bomb there if you don't have a sword upgrade, unfortunately. But
yeah, he was trying to do the tech I mentioned earlier that gets you into King's Tomb without the mitts. But he had the mitts, so once it didn't go very well, he just did it normally. Lucian, meanwhile, hammer jump with this big key. So that is required. Could be a bit of routing efficiency gained for Spy if he waits for the mountain until he's got a second sword. But I really... And Lucian was looking for a Dark World portal that was not there.
Yeah, in my experience, inverted is like a completely different mindset, and if you haven't played enough of it recently, little things like that'll trip you up. Conversely, if you've played a lot of inverted recently, regular stuff can trip you up.
Yep, it's just a matter of adapting as you need to. And chat pointing out, Lucian forgot to go back for Spiral Cave, but he's gonna go play Aghanim instead with, again, no fire? I'm not sure. Like, he hasn't checked Lumberjack. That's the only reason he could have for doing this.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I was about to severely question my own inverted knowledge. I was like, we have full light worlds. Does he think it's key sanity, and he's just going to come in here and grab 2 items? Has he forgotten that it's not regular keys?
That would be a lot less unfortunate than him going for it.
That's what happened.
Alright, so Lucian unfortunately getting bit by the mode just a little bit there. But he's going to go back, he's going to check the Spiral Cave that he missed before. And then probably do Spike Cave after that.
He's going to have to be careful, or else he's not going to be doing anything here.
Yeah, he didn't do the Dark World. He didn't do the Super Bunny or the Hookshot Cave earlier. Bottle, bow, full heart, you take it when you're this low. Bow alone makes that very worthwhile. Because that's both that's Eastern fully completable, and that's Pod fully completable once you get a sword for that big key.
Yeah, that's quite a bunch of checks over there, especially because neither of runners have checked Sahasrali either, so.
still rather inconvenient to have to do them separately with no mirror, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, but like you said earlier, that is the last routing thing that we could get that would incredibly help us out here that we still have yet to see.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Spy, he's not gonna benefit from that because he is on the mountain with a fighter sword. Looks like Lucian's gonna go clean up those Sphere 1s that he ignored before for lack of funds.
To be fair, we do have a small chance there's a second sword sitting in Hera basement.
Oh yeah, Spy would be able to get that because he pulled that lamp out of the graveyard ledge. And chat pointing out, Lucian skipped Spiral Cave, and I thought he was going back for it, but he never actually did.
Right. Also didn't do anything in TR for that matter, so...
Well, without the mirror or Samaria, there's nothing to do in TR.
That's right, we do need mirror.
Yeah, that is one of the quirks, though, with... If you have mirror, then you can get into Turtle Rock from pretty much any entrance, which makes its go mode nice and fun. You just go in the laser bridge entrance, probably pull a small key off the laser bridge, and go straight to the boss.
Alright, so Pet is just couch cash. We won't have to worry about clearing crystals for, or clearing pendants for that purpose.
Yep, which means that with the green pendant already in hand, we're not really looking to kill either pendant boss, aside from the items that they are guaranteed to have if we decide we need them. And we do see map and compass at the very start. Spy probably not super happy to see that. He's going for a bomb setup, Herapot. Gets it first try, but he's not using the new setup. I cannot remember who came up with it, but a German runner came up with an incredible setup that is actually just free and doesn't have subpixel problems.
To be fair, with as efficient as that setup was, I'm not sure he's too terribly worried about finding a different setup for it.
No, I just wanted to shout out that the new setup is actually awesome.
Oh, it is. I've seen it. I mean, all the new setups are spectacular for stuff like that. It always just astounds me.
Lucian's got his lamp now. Unfortunately, a bit difficult to go back to Hera basement before he finds a sword. Definitely difficult to justify that.
Which might just end up being a time save, honestly. We'll have to see if Spy makes the decision to come back in here, and if he does, what that basement has for him.
Yeah, because if the basement's nothing and Lucian just never actually checks it, then even though he went down there for a few seconds before remembering he didn't have fire, and even though he went into Aga Tower for a small key earlier, he probably still comes out slightly ahead. But only if he never goes back for it.
Alright, Spy going back in.
Yeah, in his position, there's really not much reason not to. You know,
I
it's an
actually
item.
thought that the blind death might push him into skipping some stuff. But at least thus far it has not.
Yep. So where's Lucian going? I've got to guess this is the eastern area for him. Or maybe the castle, actually.
Right, I was going to say either that or Front of Escape, but yeah, you're right, eastern area.
Because we have seen both map and compass for the castle area, which
Yes.
means that Uncle plus the front is 5 items.
Actually, including Dark Cross, it would be 6, because we've seen a small key
Oh,
too,
yeah.
haven't we?
We did. I forgot about Dark Cross.
Just 10 arrows, so not going to be a requirement for Hera Basement today. And Spy forgetting he has to turn around and hit every switch on the way out of Hera Basement. So
Yeah. Meanwhile, Lucian, he's going to go clear Eastern here, but he pulled a Fetch Quest Big Key out of Sahasrara.
which one was that?
Skullwoods.
Got it.
And Spy kind of being forced into a death warp here. He doesn't have anything that can reach that crystal switch, or he goes back down here and hits this one before leaving.
Actually, Ice Rod would have been able to reach it, but...
You think he remembers he has that Ice Rod?
I made no comment about his memory. I just said that Ice Rod would be able to reach it.
By getting the news about the pod key. Now he's going to go back for Spiral plus Mimic Caves. And then presumably do the Dark World stuff with an S&Q afterwards.
Alright, so this is the other check that Lucien did not bother with when he was up here. The first skip being Hera Basement ended up saving time thus far. We'll see if this one has anything useful in it. Nope.
So time saves for Lucian as long as he never goes back. I haven't been counting items in Eastern here, but it looks like we've seen both the map and the compass based on Lucian going for the out-of-the-way check.
I believe so, yeah. Spy, meanwhile, going to be grabbing Purple Chest.
Yeah, and you have to walk this. I learned literally yesterday that if you S&Q with the Smith or the Purple Chest and you don't change worlds, you lose it. And I don't actually understand that one.
Wait, does that work in non-inverted too?
Probably.
I don't think I've ever seen that come up. Interesting.
Is it only the Smith? Okay. Still rather annoying to learn on the fly, but... Okay, Spy walked the Purple Chest all the way to the Light World portal anyways. The motion here in the back of Eastern. Spy's gonna do his desert area checks with the book in hand now. No big key, but does have access to everything else in the region.
And we'll see if our tablets go 2 for 2. Nope, just a full heart.
Lucian doesn't get the quick kill, but does get a mirror shield. Honestly, not a big deal to be getting off of Armos, but it is the second 5/6 crystal. He can walk his way over to the bomb shop in the Light World, and then take it to the Dark World.
And then route in Catfish, because there's literally no other time to do it.
Actually, yeah, Pyramid Ledge and Catfish are two checks we have not seen any of this seed. But we do see Lucien save and quit, not getting that red bomb.
Is this a purple chest check? Seems like it might be.
He's got hammer pegs too, so.
Oh,
yes.
right.
And then he can try looping it in with Desert as well if he wants to, even though he doesn't have the big key. He can get guaranteed 2 items here. Oh, that's a fine. Mirror is a wonderful item in inverted. Like I said earlier.
That's a terrible spot for that, too.
That is, like, he will leave this dungeon, he will press that mirror, and he will be in Misery Mire. And it's great.
And that's a decent amount of checks over there, too.
Well, it's the shed, and then it's maybe... Well, it is guaranteed 2 items if it's not Ether to open it up. But without Samaria, opening it up is a little bit iffy.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm sure our runners are a little more pleased with their heart count than they were with early blind fight. And that's Bombos, so...
Yeah, might not be needing that Ether this seed. Oh, sword. Okay, that's actually big, because that draws Spy back to the mountain. And in addition to that pod key, A, he'll get all his Dark World stuff, which I think is really just the bow. But B, he can do a good bit in Turtle Rock, even without the Cane of Samaria.
I also think we might get some Spike Cave stuff here, because I don't think Lucien ever did Spike Cave. I thought he was going to, and then he went into Aga Tower instead.
Right. But if we saw Spike Cave, it would be at the end of the route, not the start of it.
Right.
Spy checking this medallion, even though he doesn't really need it. It is Ether, but with the mirror, we don't care. There are very, very niche situations where that Ether can be required for Turtle Rock. And I think it's like if 3 small keys are in the front. I think that's it. Ooh, Lucien not checking the Misery Mire region. That's going to be real unfortunate for him, because we know that sword there is good progression.
Yeah, and with Eastern Palace being done, does Lucien have any other big chunks to check here?
Yeah,
Ice Palace?
He's got the red bomb into Pyramid Catfish. He's got Ice Palace. He's got Pod, which could potentially be a 5-item play for him even without the big key.
Yeah, but that's allowing a double dip, which I was trying to avoid for him here.
Yeah, he's also got Escape, which is 6 items like we discussed earlier.
How about
and actually, looping in front Escape with Pyramid Ledge and Big Bomb is pretty nice, even in inverted. But yeah, Swamp Palace, another one right there. That's fully clearable, except for the big chest. So yeah, if there aren't any other swords available, we might not see these runners converge for a while at this point.
Yeah, it kind of depends on where Spy goes. He might very well take that big key and immediately use it, which with the mirror, I imagine he would. But he also might decide to put it off, so we'll just kind of have to see how he plays it.
Yeah, like, Spy's got no reason to play anything other than Eastern Pod next, in my view.
Well, there's 2 of those small keys, so I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, no ether necessary this seed, regardless of what's where in Turtle Rock. And Spy not skipping the lasers as cleanly as I would like him to.
He just wanted to say hi, okay?
He's taking the S&Q. He's not climbing for the middle section of the dungeon.
Honestly, with 1, 2, 3, 4 crystals at his disposal to clear right now, I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, I like the call, but it's gonna feel real bad if there is something there later. It looks like actually Spy's first crystal of choice is Swamp, so they have converged far earlier than I thought they would. And
So
I don't remember what Lucian's pulled out of Swamp so far.
I think I saw a dungeon item, but I don't think we've seen both of them yet.
If we do see both, that's going to be a bit unfortunate not having the big key, because that means leaving the item in there behind, but we'll see.
So, at this point, we are looking at potentially requiring Cane of Samaria and a big key to Desert.
Cane of Samaria, big key to Desert, yes. Big key to Ice can be skipped, although Spy got it somewhere, I forget. Yeah, that's it. We don't need the Fire Rod this seed because we don't need the clear Skull Woods or TR. We don't need the Flute because the mirror serves as the Mire access, although Lucian, judging by the fact that he didn't take the mirror from Desert straight to Mire, may spend some time looking for that Flute, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately, but Spy's my teammate. I take those all day.
Oh, come on. You gotta just hope for good gameplay. Get out of here with that.
I do hope for good gameplay, and that's why Lucian's been ahead on the route pretty much the whole seed. They've had a few divergent checks, but like Lucian's been in Swamp longer and has Eastern cleared already. He's doing fine.
I think the big thing's going to end up being if and when we can pull a third sword. That might end up being one of the big determining factors.
Yeah. The earlier another sword is available, the better for Lucian. And his bomb placement was just slightly off. I think it was a pixel too low. If this doesn't work... Okay, yeah, it worked. All good. And there's that one big key we're missing.
So, Selma.
Yep, and it does make me wonder who's going to Ice Palace first. Oh, look.
I'm sorry, that one tickled me.
Thanks, game. Of all the places you could have put that key, that was the second most inconvenient spot.
I mean, honestly, I feel like that's the most inconvenient spot because it's the closest to like being useful, and yet just far enough away that you know it's really genuinely not.
No, you put it on the boss and it's the same. But we do see on Lucien's menu there, did find both the map and the compass in this dungeon. And we do see Lucien is menuing a lot rather than using double spin strats. Respectable if you haven't practiced them, because they're not trivial, while the hammer is very simple. But if you can charge your spin while you're pulling the puff and then release it, even the fighter sword spin will hit twice and kill the puff.
I mean, this menu is really weird too, with the snaking back and forth.
Yeah, like this is the worst possible menu for fighting Argus with.
So, do we think that our erstwhile teammate is going to have a reaction to finding the big key of this dungeon?
I am not going to attempt to replicate his reaction on stream here.
Oh no! I think do you think that he'll like drop a bomb or make some happy slashes?
I mean, even if he does, I'm not going to attempt to replicate it here.
That's fair. Never mind, all business.
Meanwhile, Lucien's hammer gave Argus the business there. Got a full heart for it. Will he go back in for that big chest, though?
See, with the items required to beat the game dwindling quickly, that's when your decisions get kind of iffy.
Here you go, and though, no items left behind. Makes me think that if we haven't found Samaria by the time he gets Sword, he'll be checking Hera Basement too, up the mountain. But yeah, you can see here, Spy having a much faster Phase 1 Argus, just on account of not having to menu everything. And he's going to use Ice Rod here as well for not a quick kill. I'm a little disappointed. Ice Rod quick kill is a lot harder than Fire Rod quick kill, but I'm still a little disappointed.
You're the one that jinxed him.
Okay. Our restreamer, Kona Tyrant, was saying he looked at Spy's webcam when he pulled that big key, and Spy was having more than a bit of a giggle. I'm not replicating that.
I'm glad it was a giggle. That's better than the other response you could have when finding a big key to swamp in that location with big key shuffled.
Yeah. Now, Lucian here is...
If you can laugh, then you're not crying yet.
Right. Well, you can do both at the same time sometimes, but... We are going to see Lucien go to back of desert here. Checking the big chest. Did we only get one item the first time through? Was it just that mirror?
I believe so. I believe we had a map, compass, and...
Oh, right. Map in the middle, mirror on the torch. Small key in the big chest.
Right.
Awkward dungeon layout. You hate to see it. But he's going to go kill the boss, the Land Molas. And then will he go to the Mire region? That's the question.
I swear, Spy is unintentionally being contrary because they still haven't diverged at all.
Yeah, and he is ignoring the big density of the eastern pod area that he can fully clear.
It's the good boomerang!
It's the one that's easy to use in GT. I love it.
Spy playing spicy.
So chat's saying that Spy's not losing time here because he can full clear it. The problem is, if it's not exactly Cane of Samaria on Manmolas, he'll have to come back to this region at some point to mirror to Misery Mire, so he can do that. That's a crystal as well. So he's got to do this at some point, but I don't like doing it now, considering it's pretty slim odds he won't have to come back later.
That's fair, but then on the flip side, you're arguing that if it is here and he doesn't come back until much later, then he's losing out on go moding a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And Spy has always been the home run hitter of the three of us, so if he sees an opportunity to go for it and hope that he gets lucky, he's gonna take it.
Yeah, like, I would have been in Eastern Pod immediately after the mirror if it was me. Like, Eastern Pod Swamp, and then panic from there when no Cane. But I'm not running this one. Lucien using the hammer, Spy giving us some ice rod strats, but the speed of that projectile not doing well for him. Oh, I don't know how that one didn't hit. And Spy gonna give us Master Sword Spin plus Slash, actually, not plus Hammer like I thought. Because we see Lucien on the other side there, kind of struggling with the hitbox of the hammer there. He's got it. But he was in that fight significantly before Spy, wasn't he? And they're both holding the crystal up at the same time here. Now, the big question, does Lucien pull the mirror out? Yes, he does. Okay. So he's going to at least neutralize the combat advantage that Spy has had for a while by getting that sword there. But he's got to climb the mountain before he can go back for Pod. So it's a mountain climb versus what's left of Desert plus Eastern Palace, plus or minus whatever Lucien decides to do in Turtle Rock. Or
otherwise known as Soma is somewhere. Oh, no way.
This is a play. This is a play and a half.
All right, get your Tums ready, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a spicy route.
Yep. Choosing the Caneless Mire over fully clearable Ice Palace and fully clearable Pod.
Spy's gonna be mad.
If Kane's in here, he's gonna be hella mad, and I'm gonna be there for it.
Oh no, even if Cane isn't in here, Spy's going to be aggravated that he's playing against someone and that other person is the one that made the spicy routing play rather than him.
Yeah, but he's kind of avoided anything that could really be considered as such. So
that's a good point. Meanwhile, we still haven't seen Escape at all.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, dude?
Hey, Speed, go check Eastern, you numpty. I'll bet you Spy mismarked his map and put Desert as the other 5-6.
Well, he never claimed to be good at counting.
I know. And here comes the Ice Palace play.
You know, even knowing that Cane is the go mode item for Icebreaker, I don't hate this.
I absolutely hate this.
The reason I don't hate it is because he knows he's going to pull Cane out of the Icebreaker chest at this point, because that's what the meme is.
Don't encourage him, Reg. I hear this enough from the man himself. I don't need you to be parroting it.
He's not here to do so. He's too busy running the seed. Showing us the low percent bomb strats, even with a hook shot in hand. Meanwhile, on Lucien's side, we saw a 50. Haven't seen any other items yet, though.
He's gonna have to be quick here. Okay, good. Quick enough.
Yeah, doing these torches with the lamp is always a bit spooky, obnoxious. Because you can't see more than 2 of them at a time.
Spy showing us that he's not a professional bomb thrower.
We'll see if he's a professional bomb jumper, though. Piece of heart. Hey, Lucien, buddy, the 3rd item's on the boss. He had the bomb jump position, then he moved down again and lost it.
I'm not sure if this is a miscount on Lucien's side or if he's looking for the big key erroneously.
I think he just forgot its Ambrosia settings. Like, I'm pretty sure he's not remembering that the last item is guaranteed on the boss.
Right.
Because both items were fire locked on the left side.
Okay, so Meyer's out of it, which means the worst play is gone.
Yep. Looks like this is gonna be Pyramid, Big Bomb, Escape from... Nope. Not gonna be those areas from Lucien here. Mountain.
Yeah, go grab that pod, big key. That makes sense.
That's, I believe, the first item we've seen in Ice Palace for Spy.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay, it wasn't Kane in the Icebreaker chest.
Thank goodness I had never heard the end of it.
I mean, I would have popped off for it, and I'm pretty sure Spy would have too.
I know, that's why I would have never heard the end of it.
Okay, 2 items. So it should be it, last one on the boss.
Oh, we still have a 3rd item that we have to find.
Oh wait, yeah, Ice Palace is 3 items, isn't it? For some reason I had the thought it was 2. I'm silly.
Hi, silly, I'm Hammer.
And Spy going to Ice Tea using his small key instead of dropping right down to the big chest. This is faster though, I'm pretty sure, especially if the item's here.
Yeah, if the item is an iced tea, it's definitely quicker.
And if it's not, then this is still faster than going to Ice Tea the other way, but you wouldn't have ever done that because you'd have gotten the item out of the big chest.
Exactly. I wonder if Lucien's gonna get us a spike cave check. At some point.
Yeah, with the mirror, he could do that right here. He could also go over to Turtle Rock and do at least Laser Bridge, possibly more if he wants.
He could also check Hera Basement, which he's elected not to, as Spy pulls a cape.
Is he going to do the Spiral Cave that he forgot earlier?
Yes. And that might honestly have not been a forgotten check. I know some people who just elect to skip one of those or both of those based upon just not feeling like routing up the mountain again.
Yeah, and Inverted makes that extra annoying by throwing Mimic Cave in there as well.
Yep.
He's not showing us Spike Cave. He's not showing us any of Turtle Rock. Presumably, this is going to be straight to pod for him. Because otherwise, I can't imagine why he would have gone and gotten the big key instead of just doing the pyramid play.
Spy has utilized his fairy, so he is going to want to be careful here.
Yeah. And Master Sword slashes still pretty slow for this fight. There's one down. Okay, the fight gets exponentially easier with every puff you remove.
Why did you say that?
Because I have to talk myself up to the fact that I'm going to be doing this swordless in a few weeks.
That sounds like a you problem.
I think it's also a Spy problem.
Yep. And that's what you do, guys. You make sure that your teammates run the Ambrosia and Swordless week. I'm the real winner.
Hey, this guy's got to play cross keys, though. Even if people say cross keys is good, I'm not buying it.
It is, and I'll fight you.
Pyramid Fairy, Pyramid Ledge dead, but still 6 more items in the castle area once he goes through that mirror portal.
Yep. Ice Palace, meanwhile, being completely ransacked by Spy, and nothing useful outside of the cave. So.
And this is going to be Eastern Pod for Spy here. So we're just on it. We're on a straight cane hunt here. Or no, we're not.
To be fair, the cane is crooked. But yeah, I get you.
Well, red mail would be more interesting if we didn't already have 12 hearts. Okay, this is Eastern Pod for Spy, just delayed by the pyramid check.
Are you going to talk to him about that later, or should I?
Depends on where the cane is.
Oh, I was playing more the route of, you're literally going to be back there in a minute with the red bomb. What are you doing?
True, yeah. But that is a fairly quick check just to have the possibility to go mode the stuff. And yeah, chat talking about Cane and Turtle Rock. That should be possible in any of Crystal Roller Room, I believe, can have it. The middle chest, the lava chest should be able to have it. And Chain Shots. We've already seen Laser Bridge, though, so it's not there. And Spy grabbing that key reminds me, we've not seen the Skull Woods fetch quest.
Which might not even have an item, to be fair.
True, might not.
I am highly amused by the fact that, in spite of Spy having that pod big key much earlier, Lucien was still the first person in here.
Yeah, that somehow happened. Of course, at this point, it is vaguely starting to come down to a dungeon count, which is actually even between the two right now. Difference being Spy's got Ice Palace, while Lucien's got Eastern. Spy going right down the bow side here.
Kind of an interesting call.
I mean, if he gets a small key here, I like the idea of going right to the boss.
That's fair, because it is big key shuffle, yeah. You gotta clear it, you know it's gonna give you an item, and if it's Samaria, you're just completely ignoring everything else in this dungeon.
Yeah, although it does specifically if you have 2 small keys. If you only have 1, it's pretty iffy because you'll have to go down the bow side again to check the rest of the dungeon. But with 2, you can just do the front door.
Yeah, it's a good point. How about with 3?
You can still just do the front door. But Spy not going straight there. Gonna completely clear out the front first.
I'm kind of surprised at that play from him.
I am too. Looks like Lucien is... Well, is he? Yep, Lucien's going straight to the back. I guess he did the front already, and he's going... No, he's not. He was just grabbing the hearts. Okay. Apparently I cannot read the mind of pod riders.
Can anyone?
Look at... Oh, no hammer jump from Lucien either, despite having the big key plus the extra small key. Also, chat reminding the mushroom. Spy got that somewhere, and we have not seen it. No hammer jump from Spy either. Yeah, got both these runners right on top of each other.
Yeah, this pod riding spinning me around too.
Yeah, mushroom at the dig game. Sphere 1 check, by the way.
Which Lucien still hasn't grabbed, by the way.
Okay, Spy, what are you doing? Why hammer jump now instead of immediately? Come on, man.
Oh, that's a thing. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's a fast travel option, but we don't really need that at this point. I guess it will get you back to Meyer marginally faster if you've got a reason to go back to CAC and activate it.
Have we seen Sick Kid?
I don't think so. I don't think either one's been back to Kakariko since getting the first bottle.
Spy checking his inventory for the Samaria cane he knows he doesn't have.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt to justify anything Spy has done in this dungeon.
That's good. We'll just give him a hard time about it later. Spy, please.
Is he going to get knocked back from that bomb? Is this a strat? Surely not.
It's not
even if he does get knocked back, surely it's not a strat, but it's still...
Reg, he put an arrow into the wall on the right. There was nothing about that was intentional.
No, but it's still cool to just be immediately first frame moving instead of having to start walking again.
Don't encourage him. Alright, we're gonna have darn near synced up Helma fights here.
Yeah, I think this is about the difference they had entering the dungeon for how differently they did it.
By trying to be spicy, not using the sword, still not using the sword. I'm confused as to what he's doing.
I think he was trying to do the super speed strat. Well, not the super. You don't have super speed there, but Lucien going for arrows and Helmasaur. Hella cooperating. Yeah, Lucien doing this fight much better. So I've got to imagine at this point, Lucien probably goes to Ice while Spy does Eastern.
That's what I would imagine. I'm assuming that TR is just going to absolutely get left behind for the time being for both of our runners. So Spy is going to
left his mirror portal. He left his mirror portal way out in La La Land.
And Sahas for Land.
I mean, it kind of makes sense when you consider that he had to pick up Kiki, but feels bad all the same.
I don't know how he didn't jump off that ledge there.
I believe there are certain communities that would just call that a hand stiff.
I don't know what that means, and I'm afraid to ask.
He's just better at the video game than you.
That is certifiably a horse manure.
Oh. Lucien activating his flute here. And then presumably Sit Kid after this. He'll have to mirror or save and quit to get back to the Dark World to actually use that flute. But that's not the red item he's looking for anyways.
Wait, you said hand stiff. Did you mean stiff arm?
No, hands difference.
I've never heard of that.
Like I said, it's not something that the rando community says. Oh, here's the big game for Lucien. Sphere 1 check, by the way. I don't remember how many digs this was, but it wasn't too many.
No, I want to say somewhere between 10 to 12.
Yeah, I mostly remember Spy kept digging afterwards to try to get some money and didn't get any.
Which was hilarious.
Ugh. We got one of Lucien's teammates in chat asking how his guy's doing. We're straight up on a Cane of Samaria hunt here. Lucien's kind of been ahead on the route. Like, they've kind of followed a lot of very similar route throughout the seed. Lucien's kind of been ahead on it for most of the seed because of some skips, but Spy's got an entire Ice Palace on him where he's got the Armos Knight skill and Misery Mire checked out. And the Red Bomb turn in. That's about the difference between them.
Which I'm and Escape, actually. Or no.
Lucien didn't do Escape.
No, he didn't do Escape. We were talking about it like he was going to. I swear, if Soma ends up being an Escape, I'm going to absolutely end Spy.
Yeah. Chat pointing out, Lucien did do Uncle. He got the red mail there.
That's right.
But he didn't do Escape. And Lucien emptying out his bottles to buy blue potions.
Turning in the mushroom for the wrong red item.
Got the quick kill, got the mirror shield. And now I have to imagine it's Escape next for Spy. Because I don't think, like, unless he wants to go into Mire without the cane, I don't really think he's got anything left.
Yeah, it's literally the Red Bomb, Escape, Catfish sort of thing that Lucien's doing now, or go back and do the middle of TR like he probably should have done before.
Yeah, middle of TR is another thing. Spy did
And
Laser
Spy
Bridge
Cave.
where Lucian didn't. That's the third red 20 Lucian's gotten in a row.
He's going to continue to escape.
He's turning in the mushroom, and then it's a fairly easy double back.
Yeah, but this also isolates the crap out of Catfish unless he does it right now, which then makes escape less likely.
Yeah, the thing about Catfish and Inverted, 2 words, turn jump.
I have a feeling that Spy might have another 2 words to give you, and it's going to be last location.
I mean, I'm the one that last location Catfish when practicing with him last night, so. But yeah, Chad is right. He does have the big bomb, so Catfish save and quit big bomb into escape. Doesn't isolate the big bomb. That's probably what he's thinking at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Especially S&Q back to Link's house there. And we know the big bomb is nothing because Lucian has checked it. But there's still 4 items in escape. We saw the key in the back and the map in Sanctuary.
Spy is going to forego the bomb turn-in.
Interesting, after the save and quit, plus the using of that portal.
He's going to make me lose my ever-living mind, Reg.
I'm surprised he hasn't already.
There's a little piece of it that's just hanging on.
And that's why you're able to talk about his gameplay still. Okay, not in Dark Cross, but still 3 items to get here in the dungeon area. And yeah, chat pointing out Skull Woods does still exist. We've had the big key for that for a little while. It was in Sahasrara, but there it is. Spies in go mode.
Reg.
Sphere 1 check in open mode, by the way.
Reg.
What?
I'm going to be having a very serious discussion with our teammate.
You do that.
Oh, I will.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the fact that the seed evolved into just a cane hunt at the very end, not really something I wanted to see at all, just as somebody who likes watching rando. But as Spy's teammate, knowing that he won the cane hunt, you take those.
Hunts are just kind of rough. As someone who's been on both sides of those, it doesn't really feel good to win a game or lose a game that just ends up being a hunt. Because it feels like it was really nothing to do with what you did. It was just you rolled the dice and your opponent rolled the dice and you got luckier.
Yeah, and that's why I hate these seeds as a fan of rando. That's all. And yeah, our tracker probably pointing out in chat, Lucien did not do escape when he did Uncle. So he could have had this, like, what, half an hour ago almost?
Yeah, it's one of those situations where both runners made the gamble that it wasn't going to be escape, and both runners were wrong. Spy just came back a little bit sooner.
Yep, and that means that Spy just gets to go mode Misery Mire here. And you know, we have still only found that one sword that was in Mire Shed. 2 swords in GT, mean?
Yeah, we still do have a decent amount of TR that was left unfinished. We only pulled 1 item out of there because the back was 3 keys, I think, and like a 5 or something.
Yeah, but I mean, there's only 4 checks really in the middle. There's not that many.
Right, and but all 4 of them would have been items, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But we don't have the Fire Rod, is the thing that makes TR iffy, even for those middle checks.
That's vanilla, don't worry about that.
Do you know if Spy bomb jumps or right side Ganon's Tower then?
Spy can bomb jump, yes.
Okay, good, because that one's not trivial.
Yeah, Spy and I have both done that in cross settings. Lucien putting a nice double hammer hit on those puffs.
Yeah, the hammer hitbox not friendly, but he's doing a good job with it. And with the red nail, he can kind of face tank a little bit here. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
Spy going for the Cape Sword Spam strat. Okay, Lucien unfortunately having to burn that blue pot there. But gonna get right back into it.
Yeah, this could still end up being a pretty brutal Ganon fight, though, honestly.
Spy gotta mind his arrow count, because we do have to hunt. Okay, that helps a lot. But he's on 12 arrows when we have to hunt the big key in Ganon's Tower. If the big key's behind the Ice Armos, he's gonna be having a party with mimics. I know that he can clip it, he's talked to me about it before, but still. That's 7 crystals for Spy. He going back to the castle, because that's where Ganon's Tower is. And Lucien picking up his 6 crystal there, putting Cold Stare down. For him, it's a matter of when he gets to that castle for the cane.
And as you can see in chat, we already have a couple of numbers. I'm going to go ahead and explain those real quick. 22 items in the basement of GT. Is by... Oh yeah,
No,
20. Forget it's inverted. Leave me alone. 22 items in the basement of GT. One of them contains the big key. So go ahead and get your guesses in chat, 1 through 22. Where's that sucker going to be hit? Reg, are you going to stick with the good old 10, or have you changed your number preference?
I have not changed my number preference since long before Rando was an idea in somebody's head. Lucien's in the castle. Dark Cross isn't it, but he's got a mirror from there, go to the map chest and get it, and then he's just going to have to go finish the Misery Mire that he's already fully cleared out. Small key. Magic Powder is a great safety.
Spy, don't execute. He is going to the right, though, so not shying away from that bomb jump. Oh, well, yep. You're killing me, dude.
He's killing me, too.
Yeah, but he's the one who keeps contradicting my direct statements.
Half Magic is real nice, because I imagine he's going to be using the cape a lot against Ganon. Lucien's in go mode, taking the S and Q. He's got the Flute active, so it doesn't really matter where he starts.
Nice fire rod.
Okay, getting somewhat rewarded for not going right side because that makes it a lot easier. Using Bombos, the slowest medallion, because he doesn't have Ether.
I'm not having that discussion with him again.
I feel like all the red rupees in this seed at this point, even though surely not.
I'm sorry. Oh, man. Is that like... That's gotta be darn near pixel perfect to just whiff on that pot.
I have no idea.
Alright, this number is climbing rapidly here. We're rolling into Rando Room.
Rando Room gonna be number 10 with the first chest here.
You got a red dude.
And we're back to being very concerned about Spy's arrow count. So he's mirroring rather than take that fight immediately.
Although, half magic with, Oh, did he never find Berna?
I don't even remember where Berna was.
It was somewhere silly.
No, it was in Mimic Cave.
He didn't... I was going to say that with half magic and Berna, Ice Armos isn't terrible, and then I realized that he only has half of that equation.
Yeah, like, if I had 12 regular arrows, no silvers going into that fight, I would absolutely be doing the same thing. Rewarded. Good stuff.
Yeah, check everything else for a sword or... Okay,
a sword, silvers, more arrows. Lucien, unfortunately, he found the other invincibility item. So his game is more than my brain right now. And he's going to run out of magic, too.
Spy, meanwhile, not forgetting to grab a small key, so we do have a little key heading into here.
And you do have to have one going up unless you're gonna get a bailout key at the very top.
That Spike said nope.
Okay. Good job on the Mimic, Spy. Good job grabbing the arrows, not having them despawned. Good job, Lucien, on killing Vitreous. Gotta wonder if Lucien is gonna follow similar routing to Spy and bail on the left side play at any point, or if he's gonna follow that all the way through to Ice Armos. Because he's got more arrows than Spy did after killing Vitreous. But 19 is still not enough for me to be confident.
I don't know. We'll see here in a second, though, as Spy is headed through the gauntlet. With that full magic decanter just kind of laughing at him.
I'm pretty sure he's laughing at it with half magic.
That's fair.
Good stuff knocking that Horsehead into the spike for the instant kill.
You and I both know that wasn't intentional. Don't give him credit for that. See?
I've done the climb enough to know it absolutely was.
I don't mean for you, I mean for him. Now, that one
Despite-
cycle land mode too definitely was intentional. So GG's
Yeah.
there.
I'm wondering if he intends to burn a blue pod in torches, or if he's gonna just lamp it.
He does have enough. He has enough magic to at least get through the first room.
And okay, he does. Okay, and then there's a full magic before the second.
Yeah, I think you just lamp like the first two, and then you're good to go.
Yep, is lamping it. And then fire rod the last one. Grab the full magic and go.
He might not even need the full magic at this point, but he's gonna grab it anyways. Speaking of, Lucien grabbing his half magic.
Yeah, I'd say thanks, game, but thanks for nothing.
But seriously, at this point, we're short 2 swords and silvers. Can we like something?
That's why Spy's going out of his way to check this chest. Yeah, I guess it's really gotta be, did you find the arrows in Turtle Rock? It could be Boomerang Chest or Zelda Cell, I guess, but seems unlikely.
Last 2 checks being map and compass were beautiful.
Yeah, it's not something that you really love to see, but it is what it is.
I mean, I loved it.
I mean, if Spy don't got this Master Sword Ganon, then you can talk to him about it.
I'll add it to the list.
His Agatu looking like my Agatu over here.
Aggravating.
That's a word. It's definitely a word.
Aggrieved? That's not nearly as good. I'm just gonna stick with aggravating. And Lucien is in fact headed towards the Ice Armos fight, so.
Okay, this feels pretty bad on his arrow count going into Mimics, because he'll be down to at most 6 if he gets the quick kill perfectly.
That's also assuming that there isn't any replenishment here.
That's true. But while he shoots those Armos, Spy dropping into Ganon. Yeah, Master Sword Silver, let's remember, so we're gonna still be here for a few minutes.
It's one of my favorite Ganon texts. Wow. Ice Armos chests having nothing that we were looking for.
Not even just a small arrow pickup. Very annoying.
So, TR and Skull Woods, I guess. We don't really have much left.
Yeah, that's about it. And this Ganon position is atrocious for Spy to do anything with.
This one, however, much better.
Yeah. He's going to use the cape to get a couple more in there, too. Going to use the cape on this as well to get some more in. This should finish out phase 2. And he's still got 2 blue potions in reserve. I think he's been counting because he's just holding the wall now. Lucien getting hit with the oh look. So he's going to be on his climb in just a moment here. Getting his free blue potion first, though.
And that arrow count, like you mentioned, he's going to have to be careful here, only having 5. It's enough if he can pull that drop without it despawning, but...
He'll have exactly 1 left after Mimic's 1 if he's perfect. So he'll have to get that drop without it despawning, without being able to kill either of the Mimics first, and Mimics 2. And taking it safe, not letting that spike even potentially do anything to the arrow there. What's he going to do here? Is he going to just run for it? Okay, he gets it. But he's still got to do it. Meanwhile, Spy got to get through these spins, too. Okay, Lucien through. Spy missing his spin there. Doesn't really feel like he's got a good rhythm here, but he's mostly getting them.
Yeah, this low percent Ganon fight, I guess sarcastically known as the spin cycle, because that's pretty much all you're doing.
And yeah, Chad is talking about it, but the arrows were in Skull Woods, which I think they're saying we only got 1 item out of it, which means the big chest could potentially be it, but it also could just be the moth behind the fire rod that was in GP.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about those 2 swords, though. Like, goodness, having all 3 of those hidden after looking through what ended up being the vast majority of the seed is just astounding.
I agree there. I mean, they're probably both in Turtle Rock at this point, just because where else? We did not see them.
Well, there's 2 spots left in GT, 1 spot left in Skull Woods. It's unspoken for. Not much else, honestly.
Because we didn't see that shovel or powder turn in.
Right.
But hey, Spy's done. We're on the board, Hammer.
Once he crosses this 1x3 bridge, because I am not one to jinx my own teammate. Thank you for that, Reg. All right. Now we're on the board.
That's a time of 1 hour, 45, and 20 seconds for Spy. And I gotta say, the value of this seed was pretty low.
I mean, there was value this seed. It just made you work for it.
Yeah, and then after that landmost fight, Lucien sees the done, thought forfeit, and that'll wrap the race.
Yeah, with 1 hour and 46 minutes in, I don't blame him. That's enough of any seed, in my opinion. Especially knowing that you have a Master Sword Silverless fight to look forward to.
And we've got our runners here with us. We've got the Man of Culture, Lucien, and our teammate Spy.
Hello.
So, hello, everybody.
Howdy.
Man, I was kicking myself. I was right on top of that. I had thought to go into Hyrule Castle after hitting that pyramid check. I thought, nah, I got Pod and Ice. I can come back to this.
It's okay. Spy and I are going to have a discussion about skipping Escape ever again. Isn't that right, Spy?
See, if you would have noticed or saw in mine, I mismarked Desert Palace as a 5-6, so I'm thinking, hey, I got Hera done. I can go do Desert. Let's do that. And I was going to go turn the bomb in and do front of Escape. That's when I walked into the bomb shop and I was like, oh, well, let's go to Ice. So
I did figure that that's what you did, just based upon the fact that, you had walked into the bomb shop and then we're staring longingly at your face in there. And then Reg and I are like, okay, so he's just gonna go do Pod Eastern and then go do it, and then no, he just runs into Ice Palace because of course.
I mean, I figured, well, I mismarked this. Well, let's just go to the Ice Palace play, because, hey, how often do we see it in the Icebreaker chest? So...
I told you, Hammer. I told you.
Yeah, Reg mentioned that. Thankfully, I got to dodge having to deal with that conversation.
Still like the play, though. I still like the play. I'd do it 10 times out of 10, man.
I know you would.
Oh, hey, the credit showed a sword on the shovel. That shovel was in GT, right?
Yup.
Yes.
So that's a sword and probably silvers behind GT. Awesome.
Hey, there's only a 50-50 chance those silvers could have been in the Skullwoods big chest.
They also could have been in the bridge chest.
Or Mothula. Like, I like doing Tempered Ganon, but not that much. To where I'm just gonna, like, dip out of GT just to go get my Tempered.
I would probably seriously consider it.
My consideration of that was, well, I have 4 chests on the way. Whatever, let's do it.
Yeah, my key sanity, because I have my key sanity tracker up, and so I know one dumb thing I did. I went into Aga Tower, thinking like, all right, I'll grab the first chest and dip, and then there's a key. I'm like, oh right. I'm just like, well, I'm out. And I think it burned a good chunk of time. 'Cause I miscounted my items in Misery Mire.
Okay, we were kind of wondering what that was, whether it was a miscount or whether it was just having a moment on the Ambrosia boss or item on boss settings, but
A bit of both.
there it goes.
It was a bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at that point, the seed was clearly in the realm of just Cane Hunt. Whoever finds it first goes and wins, probably.
Yeah, and I'm kicking myself because my original idea was to, and I guess what they say, go with your gut, because like I had plans to go into Hyrule Castle when I checked that pyramid. Then I thought, nah, I got Pod and Ice. I can put this off.
I think I'm going to speak for both you and Spy here when I say it feels bad to both win and lose these kinds of seeds.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, nobody feels good after a seed like this, I don't think. So don't take it too hard.
It reminds me of I had a 3-way qualifier for Challenge Cup out groups, and all 3 of us simultaneously within like 30 seconds of each other skipped out on an ice rod on Swamp Big. It's that kind of game.
Yeah.
Rando gonna rando.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like I was in the climb, so it's not like I got blown out or anything. So
right, it was. Yeah, and I mean honestly, you guys followed a lot of similar route throughout more or less the entire seed. Like you had a few small divergences and skips, but for example, like you guys were in Swamp at the same time, you were fighting Molas at the same time, you were in Pod. Like you guys entered Pod within about 3 seconds of each other, and you left it within about 3 seconds of each other.
Oh wow,
that sort of thing. Like the seed was a lot of that. So, and I mean honestly though, I think you were running visually ahead for most of it. So.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I think I should have gone my gut on Hyrule Castle. Then not get dumb on Mire, but well.
Oh yeah, speaking of placements, how about that Swamp Big Key placement being in the most na spot it could put it?
Oh yeah. screw that Swamp Big. I'm like, could have been anywhere else.
And you have to go back for it at that point and go check that chest. I mean,
yeah, because I got haunted. I was haunted by the ghost of that ice rod I was just mentioning, because it was like the Swamp Big on Argus, and like all 3 of us just bailed on that ice rod and big chest. So it's like I was haunted by ghosts of that, and so like I gotta go back for it. It's like, how often do you find the big key in its vanilla location in Key Shuffle? Not often.
Yeah, no, not often.
It's like superstition. Like, oh, it's a sign from the gods. Got to go back and check it. It's got to be something. Why else would Rando do anything?
Just why does Rando is the existential question of our time. Like, just why?
See, that train of thought generally leads me down the train of thought of why do I Rando? And I still haven't figured out the answer to that one either.
We all know it's because I drag you in by the cuff of your shirt and say you have to.
I know, and then you freaking skip escape.
Look, man, I took a right turn and went to dam instead of a left turn to the front of escape, all right? It at least got me the boots. Give me a break.
You checked the pyramid ledge. You had the mirror.
Well, I'm just glad you're getting blasted for this, and I'm not.
No, you're not my teammate. I haven't had this discussion with you.
Yeah. Remember, we're both Spy's teammates, so we're both obligated to give him hard times over everything.
But you're talking about. Oh, sorry.
Nah, it was a good race.
Yeah, you mentioned like why do we rando? It's like my go live notification. It's like it's been X number of days since a rando induced existential crisis.
Is that number ever more than like 5?
I lose track. I don't. If I bother to keep track of how many days it's been between rando existential crises, I go even more insane.
Yeah, fair point.
Yep. Anyways, I think we probably need to move to start wrapping this up. So I'll start by saying that these two teams are going to wrap up this week on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be playing against Lucien's teammate, Captain. So that should be an interesting one. And anybody got any last words they want to say before we wrap this up?
On behalf of Captain, I'll say good luck, have fun.
Much appreciated. He was in chat earlier, but I'm not sure he still is.
Probably
if he is,
away.
I'd like to.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, if he is, I'd like to express the same to him.
So he probably turned away in disgust when I skipped escape. He's like, I can't watch this anymore.
It's going on my notepad that I have right up in front of me for things to do when I play a seed. Don't skip it, dang it.
Skip escape, because you're going to do it again.
I know I will. I'll go to ice over escape any day.
But I guess with everything pretty much said, we're going to wrap this up. And as soon as we do wrap up here, we are going to be sending all of you viewers over to Speed Gaming 4, where W. Garrison of the Kabuki Hundo Activist Department is going to be playing Ip Karma of the Crystal Roller Crew. And with that said, I've been Reg, my partner's been Hammer, and we had a race. It was pretty fun to call, even with the cane hunt at the end.
Yeah.
GG's, and thanks for having us.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yep, we'll see y'all some other race.
See you soon.